Can you make a short film with minimal or no crew at all? That is something I've been doing in my short films over the years, and I will tell you all about my tips and tricks to making a short film with minimal to no crew. First, I just want to give a big thanks to Mr. DeSicco. He supported me with 25 euros for my upcoming short film this autumn. So big thanks to Mr. DeSicco. If you also want to support my upcoming short film, please consider buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. You want to make movies, you want to grow your portfolio to get experience. So my philosophy is to just try to make it work. Get your idea out there. Try to find these stories that you actually can do right now, not tomorrow, and hone your skill in any way, shape, or form. The first tip is planning. If you have no crew, planning will become very important in your movie making process. You do not want to discover problems with the script or the location or with the angles, none of that when you're on set. Try to imagine all of these problems that might arise, and that comes down to planning. So planning involves getting your screenplay great, getting your shot list, getting your pre-visualizations, storyboard, read through with the actors, maybe have a 1 day of rehearsal before you even start filming. All of these things that you can do before you actually film your short film will be beneficial. My next tip is to use what's available to you, whether it's location or props or vehicles, or maybe you have a friend that's doing music production. Maybe try to recognize what you have around you that you can incorporate into your short film to raise your production value. For example, when I shot my alien infestation short film, I used my basement here in my apartment building, and that is a very cool location with all of these long hallways and the pipes going in the ceiling. Very creepy place. And that was all free because I live here, so why not use this location? For my last short film together, I used this apartment, my own apartment, to shoot that entire short film. And that is also something I had access to at all times, so I could light things before and try things and find a frame and all of that way before we even started filming. My next tip would be to try to recognize your strengths and also your weaknesses. If we take me for an example, I have experience in visual effects, and that is something I can use in my short film to raise my production value. So what I'm trying to say is that if there's something in you that you can bring to the table, just like I can bring visual effects into my short films, maybe there's something in your life that you can incorporate into your short films. For example, maybe you're a painter. So maybe you can make a short film about paintings and maybe incorporate your talent into your short film and really use that knowledge of yours when it comes to painting. A drawback is that we need to put on a lot of hats during this entire production. And that is a little bit of a segue into my next tip, and that is try to get a hold of the technology that is going to help you to save time instead of slowing you down. And what I mean by this is that there are some things that you should probably avoid at all costs when you want to create your short film. You can't really go in and think that you want to do the most elaborate lighting setup or maybe this advanced camera movement and all of these things. Your focus and your goal should be to only get your coverage as fast as possible and save all of that advanced stuff to your project where you actually have a crew that can help you out. And I'm talking here from my own experience. I always have all of these crazy ideas I want to accomplish with my short films, but eventually at the end of the day, it's like I need to skip that. There won't be any time for that cool visual dolly crane thing that I want to do. So a minimal crew to no crew at all. You really need to keep things simple. And here's a couple of things that I've noticed I'm always falling back to when I'm doing my short films. And the first one is I usually fall back to using handheld camera. There are a couple of setups I've been trying, you know, I have big rigs and all of these camera gear that I want to incorporate into my short film. But at the end of the day, I noticed if I just grab the camera going handheld, I'm so much quicker. I don't need to deal with the tripod and move around and get all of those shots that you need. Another quick tip is to use zooms instead of primes. Primes are great, they are amazing, but that is something also that is just will just slow you down on set. I'm just going to, you know, and then you go back to, because you want a wide shot, and then you need to switch that back to the wide angle lens. It just takes time. You're so much faster if you can have a zoom and just go in, get your close up, go out, get your wide shots, and no time spent on changing lenses. I'm also always opting for bringing the smallest light kit as possible, and I always try to light my scenes beforehand, preferably days before, so I can really hone in and dial in the lighting way before we start shooting. And also a quick tip is to try to use practicals, that's lights that is already available to you at your location. My last tip is, if you want to be really adventurous and save time when you're shooting your short film, is to skip coverage. I know that sounds very scary, and actually I'm not sure if I should recommend it, because I am always shooting for coverage. I want to have the entire scene in a wide angle, in my medium shot and close up, so I have something to save me in the edit. But if you have done your homework in your planning and you know that you're only going to use the close up in this line and the medium shot in these lines, maybe you can go in and shoot this short film by only getting those shots that you need. If you do that, you can save a lot of time and you save a lot of space on your hard drive, but it's a little bit risky. Beware that coverage is sometimes very nice to have when you're editing your short film. For example, sometimes you want to combine audio from this take and the image from this take and shove them together to create something even more engaging.
Mitt recept var slut.
Okay, my friends, I hope this was helpful. If you got any questions, just let me know in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!